Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick and I'm a top potter on TradingView with over 190k reputation points. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. This is the place to go for high quality, free trading education. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight onto the charts. In this video, I will be speaking about USDCAD. Now, as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, first I will be covering the technical aspect for this market. Then we will be moving to the order flow by looking at the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is what the non-commercials, so the biggest speculators in the market are doing, which are essentially hedge funds, so the big players in the market. And by the end of the video, by using a combination of these two different types of analysis, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here on this pair. Now, starting from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which is currently testing a quite significant level of monthly supply and resistance. From here, all these previous rejections to the downside were created. At the moment, the market is testing exactly the same zone, from which there is definitely the possibility to see a potential reversal to the downside away from the area, as already happened in the past. All these three times that the market tested its zone, in which after that the market followed with a rejection to the downside. Dropping down on the weekly, what do we have? Well, from a weekly standpoint, things are getting quite interesting as well. In fact, what we can notice is that we just had the creation of this W formation. Now, in general, after the creation of a W, what we could expect is a potential reversal to the downside away from the zone. And we can also notice that, generally speaking, after an impulse, if you want to measure the correction, you have to take your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse leg. And if we do that, we can see how we have the 0.32 and 50% retracements lining up exactly at this level that we could in fact expect the market to create a correction to. So there is definitely the possibility to have a downside target accessible for this market at this level to go and test what kind of liquidity we have inside of the zone. Now, dropping down on the daily time frame, what do we have? Well, from a daily standpoint, things are quite clear. Even though there is a possibility to have a downside target here for this pair, anyway, the structure at the moment from a daily perspective is still bullish. This market has been creating a series of higher highs and higher lows, and we can see how the last move to the upside was this impulse. And in creating this impulse, the market also broke above structure. In fact, at the moment, we have previous daily resistance here, which is now turned support at this level. Until the market will remain above this zone, it could easily continue higher. So what we need here is a potential break below this level. Only if we get a break below the zone, only at that point, the monthly, weekly, and also daily time frames would all be aligning for a potential move lower, because until the market will remain above daily support, it can easily continue to the upside. So if we get the break below the support after the break on the retest of this previous support and resistance, this is where we have good probabilities for a potential rejection to the downside away from the level. Now, if we go and see what we have when it comes to the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is what the non-commercials, so the biggest speculators in the market are doing, and we check the data precisely for the CAD, we can see how lately net positions have actually been decreasing. We went from having plus 6.3k net positions down to minus 24.9k net positions. However, we can see how with the last two reports, we actually see longs getting added. First, 6,500 longs and then 3,200 longs. What this shows is that even though institutions in the long run are moving to the bearish side of the CAD, in the short term, they're starting to add longs. This could lead this market, fueled by the longs on the CAD, to bring weakness to USDCAD, because always remember that all currencies on the spot are traded against the USD. So if we're checking the data for the CAD, we're actually checking CAD USD. So if we want information on USD CAD, we simply have to reverse everything, meaning that institutions longing the CAD, meaning longing the CAD USD, are actually shorting USD CAD. This means that at least in the short term, there is a possibility to see some short-term bearish price action for USD CAD, and then we could see the continuation higher. but the key here is to see a potential break below the support. So if we get the break below the support after the break on the retest of the previous support or resistance, this is where we have good probabilities to see more institutional longing of the CAD inside of this resistance area, at that point further increasing the probabilities of USDCAD, making this potential rejection lower. So if we get the break on the retest, how we could be approaching this potential move lower. Now, as usual, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily combined with the COT data, those are the best time frames from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best time frames are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what we could be doing, potentially also with students, is monitoring price action from an intraday perspective during this move to the upside, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bullish market as we would have to an intraday bearish market. And if the market would shift from an intraday bullish to bearish market and provide to us one of our valid entries, at that point we could be looking for a potential move lower for the market to complete this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside. Now, if you don't know what I'm speaking about when I say valid entries and these kind of things, you want to learn more, I really suggest that you go and check out the transparentfxtrading.com website. Here, you have the possibility to gain access to my entire courses with all the rules of the strategies. You also have the possibility to gain access to one-on-one private mentoring, the VIP market breakdowns with the Telegram signals, the COT data software, which is precisely the one that we used in this analysis, the trading station software, which puts together everything that you need as a trader all in one interface. And if you scroll lower here, past the testimonials, you will see that at the moment there is a massive special promotion in which you have a huge discount on the upfront price of the program from $497 all the way down to only $97 one-time payment. And if you scroll lower, you will see that at the moment there is still time to join before the offer expires and price goes back to normal. And directly from here, there is the button to join in order to gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the checkout process. So definitely looking forward to have you on board. The link is also in the description and I will see you in it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free analysis education and updates for all of you. And I will see you in my next breakdown.